Hello everybody. So we are going to be looking at a very powerful thing today that jQuery allows you to do very quickly and easily. It is called AJAX. It's called an AJAX request where we are going to be requesting data from a server. So in our previous example when we did the jQuery table for John Wick, remember we came to Omniba here, we typed in John Wick right here, and then we opened this over here. And notice that this data came back. And then we took this data and then we copied and pasted it and then we worked with it. Well, that's not really that cool, right? So basically we're using this website to get this JSON object back, copying it, dumping it in here, and then working with this. That's not exactly how you want to do things. It's not very dynamic. It doesn't really help you create a really cool website. It will only show John Wick or whatever you copy and paste in there. So we want something that's a little more robust, right? So this is where an API comes in, which stands for application. Actually, I don't even remember what it is called anymore. Let's Google it. Go Google. What does it stand for? Application Program Interface. So basically, it allows us, we don't have to build our own database of movies. We don't need to do that. What we can do is use this already existing API to get data back. So let's look at this request. So this request features, and let me make this a little bigger here. This request features a lot of stuff in here. So you can see that I'm requesting it from this URL. Then I'm starting my query, so T stands for title, so John plus Wick. The ampersand ties the different queries together. So it's saying, do you want the, I don't know what Y stands for, you can read it here. Oh, year of release. So we're keeping that empty. Plot we want is short, we could change that to long if we wanted to, and the response is JSON. We usually always want JSON. Yeah, never XMLO, never that. That is a very scary thing. Good things happen to good people with that. So, I don't know if this one particularly has a, what was the keyword for full? Type, response. What was the one for that one again? Oh, Y. No. Alright, where are you? Plot. Why don't I see plot here? There it is. Alright, full. Let's try to see if it has a full one. So we can change this query. No, doesn't have a full one. Just has this regular plot. Which, you know, that movie doesn't have that much plot anyway, but sometimes it will have a shortened plot. So you can change that query based on that. So now, since we're working with jQuery, I'm going to go ahead and close this. This is just the HTML that I wrote to hook in. So I am now going to write my very first thing all the time, document.ready. So I'm going to go write that. Make sure you always start with document.ready. And now what I want to do is grab this query, this request. So I'm going to copy and paste that. I'm going to use a new JavaScript term called const. This is a JavaScript 6 thing. So basically this makes the variable constant. So therefore if it does get changed in the program, it will actually show an error. So since this URL should not be changing, I'm just going to do const. Once again, you could have done var here, but I'm trying to get used to the new JavaScript 6 rules because they're really cool. So we're going to be using that. And if you ever want to read more on this, you can find it at this website right here. So this contains all the documentation you could possibly ever want in C, performing an asynchronous HTTP request. So that's happening here. And you can get some more data in different type of context. So this is our AJAX request page. Obviously nothing's here yet because we haven't done anything. So now we need to use $. So I'm saying, hey, pull up the jQuery and run this method found in the jQuery library. It's going to be called AJAX. Don't be worried that it turned to white. That's exactly what it's supposed to happen. And you're going to pass in what looks like an object. So we're going to pass query URL. Now, once again, you could have come here and done this. That's the exact same thing. I just don't like to pass in a whole thing like that. It's just kind of ugly. So I much rather store it as a variable and then pass it in like that. And then we're going to do a method, get. Now about what you see here. URL cannot change. That's a keyword. Because that's exactly what it is. It's a URL. And we're passing in this query as the URL to AJAX. Meaning it's going to reach out to this server and pass in this request. Method, there's many different things that you can do with a server. So you can either get data from a server, you can run a post, so you're posting data to the server, so uploading your own data. You can delete things from a server, so on and so forth. And so right now, let's just worry about one thing at a time. So right now, we are just getting information. And that has to be capital. Now, we also need to write something else down here. JavaScript, in and of itself, is asynchronous. What is asynchronous? Well, in Latin, I means not. So it is not synchronous. That's exactly what's happening here. JavaScript doesn't run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't run in order. Or it does run in order, but it doesn't wait for one process to be finished. So since I'm requesting data back from the server, say that this request takes 2 seconds. That JavaScript is not going to sit here for 2 seconds saying, oh, I'm going to wait for the data to come back. It's going to continue on to any code that you have written after. That's very powerful because basically say that you had a website that's waiting for a bunch of data coming in. That way the website doesn't get totally hung up just on one server call. So it continues loading even though one server might be laggy. So to get around that issue, we're going to do .done, which is saying like, hey, wait until this is done, this request comes back as finished, and then continue on. And right now we're just going to console log. Oh, I'm forgetting something, sorry. So in this function, you need to pass in something. So I'm going to do response. I do response because that's exactly what I see it as. It's response of data. Some other people do request data, but once again, this golden word right here, that can be anything. You don't need to name it response. So now let's run this. Notice that there's nothing down here. Look at that. We just got this data back. Isn't that cool? And if you go to network, you notice that there is an AJAX call. And if I reload the page, notice that there was an AJAX call out there. Very cool. So right now we just requested data back from a server. So in our old example, where we did this table.js and things like that, so for example, you can come over here, copy this, paste it in, and then I would need to change this to, John Wick, just for clarity. So because it's all labeled John Wick right now. And take a look. Bam! This gets put right to the page. See, look how fast that loaded. Oh, so quick. So now we have made a server request, and if you wanted to, you can mess around with this and you can put monster in here. See? Or you could have done Avengers. I think this one will work. Bam. So that is a pretty cool thing. So right now we are reaching out to a server. Oops. We are reaching out to a server and getting data back and then using that data and appending it to the page. Very cool. So yeah, this is just a very simple AJAX request, but it's something that you can do with jQuery. And yeah, I'll see you later.